Hey, how are you doing today? It's Abby Smiles and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be looking at Reddit relationship advice, and as someone who has been single for over a year, and I think I'm overly qualified to give other people relationship advice. Went on a date tonight and he tipped the waitress $5 on a $99 bill. Everything was fine until then. It's his money. I mean, if he spent £99 on the food, why don't you give the tip? I think he's got a lucky escape, you not being interested anymore, because that ain't someone you want in your life. My girlfriend did not appreciate my reaction to seeing her naked. Well, this should be a good one. There is a current trend on TikTok of girls surprising their man walking into the room naked. Oh my god, I've seen this. This is really bad, but there was this couple that did it, and they did it in this basement looking room, and you know, in them rooms where the creepy guy kidnaps a girl and ties her up, like in horrors and stuff, that kind of room. And it just looked creepy from the start, and obviously she took off the towel and he's like, creepiest looking man. And then it makes it worse, you hear her voice go, you know, trying her hardest to be cute, and it was cringe. So the whole vibe was weird and it was uncomfortable to watch, and I was like, why the hell are we recording this? Why do you think this was a good idea? Plus, isn't that like an intimate moment between couples? Like, why are you recording it? Maybe it's because I'm a lonely ass girl who doesn't have anyone to do it with. I just can't see myself doing that shite. I've seen these videos before, and normally the reaction man gets a smile on his face and obviously gets it on. I got home from a 12-hour shift of potentially being exposed to COVID-19 and just wanted some beers and to go to bed. I guess my girlfriend thought it would be the same reaction when I walked in the door and I saw her naked. I barely had enough energy left to give a reaction, let alone a good one. I basically just told her I appreciate the gesture, but I was exhausted. She got moody at me, basically. I would do. Can you imagine you're like that, feeling so confident and hot, and then his reaction is, well done. Like, I would be upset to definitely break up with you. Like, I get he's obviously had a bad day at work and he's tired and stuff, but damn, it wouldn't even be his fault. It's just been my confidence. My ego would have been cracked. You would have brought my ego down. I'd have just been upset. She got moody at basically comparing all these other TikToks that the man gets excited to see their girl. I mean, you are going to feel a bit self-conscious. Like, you're going to think, why is my body not as good as theirs? Why is their partner more excited to see them naked? Is something wrong with me? You know, society's norms, men want sex, so they're going to get excited of a naked woman. So if he's not, he's going to make you come crashing down to earth. Since this happened a couple of days ago, she's acting like I don't find her sexy at all and giving my sarcastic answers. What do I even say to her? But you have to take accountability that you've hurt her feelings. Just be nice to her. Let her know she's pretty and go out your way to let her know she's attractive. Do some romantic gestures. Like, it's really not hard. And I get you're tired, but if you want to make time, you will make time. She wasn't even filming this. It wasn't even for a TikTok. It was literally just all for you. So the least you could do is just try and be nice to her. All the comments are on about how social media is to blame. No. Even if I didn't see that on social media, if my boyfriend literally was like, thanks, I'd be upset. I think I crossed the line in my wife's and I open marriage, but I'm struggling to empathise with my wife. My wife basically forced me into a temporary open marriage 5-6 months ago. We recently both turned 50 and have been together since college. She, I guess, as part of a midlife crisis, was laminating the fact she had never been with any other men, so proposed a temporary open marriage so that we could both experiment and then close our marriage for good. Obviously, very few men will take the news I want to sleep with other men well, and I refused at first, but she made it clear that if I didn't agree, we'd have to separate, and so I went along with it. No. You deserve better, King. You know what? Let her go then. She wants to sleep with other men. Be like, bye then. Because you deserve better. This isn't acceptable. Honey, no. I feel so bad for you. I'm calling you a king a little too early though. I mean, as these posts normally go, you may be the true villain further along the line. And so I went along with it. After all, it's going to go both ways. Still though, if you're not comfortable with it. So what the hell? Maybe I'll enjoy it. Besides, it'll be a temporary arrangement. So she says. So she starts matching with guys on Tinder, going out to bars, etc. I don't know how successful she was, as we had a rule of keeping it out of the house. Oh, I would be shit in this relationship. I want to know everything. I would be there like, so who's that bitch? You getting your bitches mixed up? Even, like, obviously, I would never suggest this because I won't be able to deal with it. I'd be jealous. I'd feel insecure as well. I ended up matching with lots of young girls who are into older guys. They were very attractive, but the sex was boring and not enjoyable. I mean, all of it was basically them just laying there and me doing all the work. Not nice. Anyway, at this point, I figured I should just see some escorts since the experience is probably going to be more enjoyable. So I asked my wife if it's okay for me to to see some escorts instead. She agreed, provided I always use protection. And B, I keep my spending to a minimum. Now, to cut a long story short, I ended up being a regular client to this one girl. She's a college student working to pay her student fees, living costs. We kick it off and her fees become less and less as time goes on until we are actually going on dates and stuff and no money is involved anymore. I'm not thinking this is real. What escort doesn't want to get paid? That is unprofessionalism. Sex work is a job. It wasn't really a single moment. Over time, I just stopped being a client and started being something else to this girl. Well, clearly she's in the wrong profession, because you should be able to separate feelings from your job. I mean, you are getting paid to do a job. Does she not care about her bills anymore? This doesn't seem real to me. I'm not believing this one, if I'm honest. Wife finds out after reading my phone and is accusing me of having an emotional affair with this girl. I'd be upset if someone was having an emotionally connecting with someone else, but sex is further along that line. So if you're okay with him having sex, you're okay with him having emotions with someone else. That is what sex is, like connecting with each other, right? Is that just me? She can't, why is she going through his phone? She proposed this whole little affair. It's not like she's trying to catch him cheating, this is weird. This girl in turn finds out my wife knows and is telling me to go steady with her, saying she'll quit work for me. I know I should choose my wife, but honestly, I find myself thinking, one, our kids are all grown up, so they no longer consider staying together. Shouldn't stay together for kids anyway, because it'll create a toxic environment for them. Two, I'm not sure if I can still love my wife the same way after she friended me into an open relationship so she can sleep around. To be fair, she's brought this on herself. I said she's left her in the beginning, but also it doesn't seem real. I mean, I've never really seen the wife forced him into having this open marriage and then gets upset that he's having an open marriage, and the escort suddenly, he's too good for her to charge him anymore and falls in love with him and now wants him, and now he's two women wanting him. This is a fantasy by an older man, 100%. People are constantly pointing out the disparity in attractiveness between me, 28 female, and my boyfriend, 29 male. How should I respond to this? It is making him insecure and me uncomfortable. I've been seeing my boyfriend for a few months now and I adore him. He's an incredible guy and I feel so lucky to be with him. We met on a dating app. I made the early mistake of telling him my sister actually liked his profile when she was scrolling through rather than me, as I rarely use the app. The issue is, with an obvious callous, God, why do I pick long subreddits? Why do you say so much? My dyslexic brain can't take it. Why have you mentioned all this? You're going into so much about liking his profile, blah blah blah. It best be relevant because you're saying too much. Does it need to have this whole backstory? And before Danny's in the comments saying, it's only because you're dyslexic and don't like reading. Bitch, you're right, but I'm also making good points. On the other hand, my boyfriend is less attractive and looks have never been a big priority for me. So this never really phrased me. Well, clearly it does, or else you wouldn't be here. Like, in all honesty, you shouldn't care what people say about your partner. It's like when people go, do you think he's good looking? Honey, I ain't the one riding him, he's yours. You should only care about how you see him. Who cares if other people don't find him attractive? I've always found that weird when girls ask. However, from the beginning, people, including friends, family, waiters, taxi drivers, random people on the street, have made comments about his appearance between us. Things like, whoa man, how'd you swing this? A nice one, and you're a lucky guy. No, that, ooh, you know what, this might be real, but I think she's took it a little to her head. People say that to be polite, like, that's a normal thing. That, like, especially friends, like, oh, you're a lucky one, she's a good egg. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're a 10, he's lucky if he's a 0. Like, I think you're being a bit nasty here. Like, I wouldn't read too much into that. I'd just be like, yeah, he's lucky, so am I, and then move on with your life. He keeps questioning why I would be interested in the first place, especially after telling him I wasn't the one to like him on the dating app. Why did you tell him that you didn't like him on the dating app? Like, if you're swiping through, why was your sister on the, actually, why was your sister on the dating app? And what was the need to say that? I think you're the one who wants this man to feel like very insecure and low, because the comments you're making, they're just a little bit off. I don't think it's the other people. I think it's you. I think it's easy to ignore strangers. It's not easy to ignore it if it's coming from the person you're claiming to love. What is the best way to respond when people point out differences in attraction? And how can I reassure him that I think he's beautiful and it's not an issue for me? What's not an issue? You just said you think he's beautiful. You're the problem. The way you're speaking, you're saying the right things, but you're saying them with a twist. It's like a backhanded compliment. This poor lad, he should leave you. Like, she's just not giving me good vibes, and he shouldn't be with her. He should break up with her, because you shouldn't be feeling this insecure in a relationship. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe here. If you've got any subreddits you'd like to suggest, I'd be very grateful. And try and avoid the big reading ones because I'm a dyslexic and I struggle as it is. But honestly, these relationships, they just make me happy that I'm not in one. And I hope you have a positive day and hopefully you're still alive because the way Americans going, we might all be at war. So